Hi, I'm Vance, and welcome to Repair and Replace. If your refrigerator isn't dispensing ice, then it's likely an issue with the microswitch or the ice auger motor. In this episode, first we'll learn how it all works. Then we'll test the microswitch and the motor for continuity. A continuity test will determine if there's a continuous path for electricity to flow through. Without continuity, the component will not work and will need to be replaced. First, the ice maker ejects the ice cubes into the bin. When you press the paddle, it triggers a microswitch. The auger motor pushes the ice forward and out through the dispenser. When you select cubed ice, a solenoid will open a flap and allow the cubes to fall down the chute. When you select crushed ice, the flap will stay closed and the ice is crushed between several blades. Some models do not have a solenoid. Instead, the motor will switch directions to crush the ice. If the auger motor fails, it will not push the ice forward. Additionally, a faulty microswitch will not send power to the motor. Now, if the solenoid fails, then the flap will not open and no ice cubes will come out. Alternatively, any issues with the control board can also prevent the dispenser from working. First, inspect the ice bucket assembly and check to see if it's frozen solid. If the auger is encased in ice, then the motor won't be able to spin. Additionally, if the chute is clogged, it will also prevent ice from being dispensed. You can remove the bucket and let the ice melt at room temperature. If needed, rinse with warm water to speed up the process. Now reinsert the bucket and let the machine make some ice. If it still isn't working properly, then you'll have to test the auger motor. To begin, you might need a screwdriver or nut driver and a multimeter. You might also need vice grip pliers. Keep in mind there is some variation between models, and not all refrigerators will have the same parts. You can enter your model number on the AMRE Supply website to see a parts breakdown. This can be helpful to show you which parts are in your refrigerator and where they are located. First, slide the refrigerator out from the wall. When there is enough room, unplug the cord to disconnect the power. In this case, you can work on the refrigerator in place with it still against the wall. In some models, the auger motor is mounted directly to the back wall, but in most cases, it will be inside of the housing. First, slide out the ice bucket assembly. Now disconnect the wire harness. Next, remove the mounting screws. Now lift up and remove the assembly. It's best to take a picture of the wires for reference. Now disconnect the motor wires. You can test the motor in place, but to make it easier, we'll be removing it from the mount. In some cases, you might need vice grips to grab onto the motor shaft. Place a screwdriver in the drive cam and turn counterclockwise to remove it. Next, remove the mounting screws. Now remove the auger motor. Set your multimeter to the ohms or resistance setting. Touch the probes to each terminal. There should be a resistance between 5 and 20 ohms. If the resistance is significantly off, or if there's no resistance and no continuity, then the motor is faulty and will need to be replaced. Align the motor and tighten the mounting screws. Now reconnect the wires. Align the drive cam onto the motor shaft and tighten it clockwise. Align the hooks onto the mount. Now tighten the mounting screws. Next, reconnect the wire harness. Now replace the ice bucket assembly. If the motor is good, then test the dispenser microswitch. First, remove the display module. In some models, this will be held in by screws. Other models will snap into place. You can use a flat blade screwdriver to help release the panel. Now, take a picture of the wires for reference. Next, disconnect the wires. Now remove the display module. In most cases, the microswitch can be tested while it's still mounted in place. First, disconnect the wires. Now set your multimeter to the ohms or resistance setting. Touch the probes to each terminal. The switch is normally open and should have no resistance and no continuity. When you press the switch closed, it should have a resistance between 0 and 1 ohm. This is continuity. Repeat the test for the other switch. If there is no resistance and no continuity, then the switch is faulty and should be replaced. In some cases, you might need to remove the dispenser module to access the switch. You can see more in the video linked below. Reconnect the wire harness. Align the display module onto the mount. Now tighten the screws. If needed, replace the outer panel. Plug in the cord to reconnect the power. Now slide it back into place. Make sure to leave a couple of inches of space between the refrigerator and the wall. This will allow for proper airflow. Now test the refrigerator to see if it's working properly. If you've eliminated all other problems and it's still not working, then it could be an issue with the dispenser control board. You can see this in more detail in the video linked below. If you like this and want to see more tutorials and informational videos, then subscribe to our channel. And if you need help, you can call or visit an AMRE location to talk with our knowledgeable staff. Thanks for watching.